Hey T-Volts, it's Mr. Daly from the College and Career Center, and in this short video I'm going to show you how to navigate and complete the Common App. The Common App, or the Common Application, is a way for you to apply to multiple schools through one single application and website. So it's a time saver, it's an energy saver, it's a great way for you to just really do as much of the process as you can in one fell swoop. Please be aware that the Common Application, they have member schools. So they have schools across the country that are Common App schools. Not every school is a Common App school. So some of the schools you might be interested in, you might not find on the Common App. So you need to go to that school's website in order to complete their application. But I will say we have over 20 schools in Illinois who are Common App schools alone. It is a great resource, and there are thousands of schools all over the country that do use it. So it's definitely worth your time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first, if you have not done so, you need to create an account. So if you go to commonapp.org, and you go to sign up and create an account, you'll be able to create an account. It'll ask you for your name, your email, your mailing address, your phone number, but it's a pretty quick, easy way to create your account to start. I've already created my account for the sake of time, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, so this is like the main dashboard of the Common App. And I'm going to show you how to complete the Common App. I'm going to show you how to do it in my preferred order. You can do it in your own order, but I think that this is easiest. So what you're going to do first is we're going to kind of go right to left, which normally we would go left to right. But first, there are financial aid resources. So this is just for extra information. This is nothing you have to fill out, but this has just more information about the financial aid process. Okay. Then, and you can read those in your own time whenever you'd like to. Then the first thing you really need to do is to make sure that your colleges are on the Common Application, okay? Because the last thing we want to have happen is for you to get to the very end of this application and find out the colleges you plan to apply to are not on here. So I'm going to search Knox College. Okay, so Knox College does show up. So what you can do if you want more information about Knox College, you can click there. You can add it to your colleges, and we'll get to that portion in a bit. But this website right here has a great profile of the various deadlines and requirements and information about the school that you need specifically, and also virtual tour, college navigator, some great tools there. Okay. But you can just keep adding these. So I'm just going to search Illinois and then all Illinois schools. So maybe I want to add Augustana and Northern, which they are new to the Common App. I'm going to add Illinois Institute of Technology. Okay. Maybe I want to add a school in Indiana. Okay. Butler. Perfect. Okay. So you can just keep adding those, whichever schools that you are interested in. Okay. And again, if none of your schools show up, go to their websites because that means they are not Common App schools. So this would not be the resource you would use. Okay, so moving further left, the first thing I would complete is the Common App itself. This information will go to all schools directly, and all the same information will be given to all schools. So you'll complete profile information, which includes a lot of demographic information. You will complete information about your household, your family. You will complete information about your school. maybe what honors you achieved, like awards, high honor roll, social science student of the month. It'll ask about if you took any classes at colleges, did you attend any other high school, what are your grades, what classes are you taking this year. So they'll ask you a lot of different things pertaining to your educational past and present. Testing, it'll ask you about testing, if you are planning to submit testing, if you are not planning to, and then it'll ask for different scores and dates and what test it was, things of that nature. It will ask for your activity, so if you were involved in fine arts, sports, any sort of clubs at school, even in your community, if you volunteered, if you worked, if you have a part-time job, if you did any summer, fun exploratory programs, all of that would be included in activities. And then also, this is where you will submit your Common App essay. And the Common App gives you 7 prompts to choose from, and you get to pick. And actually, one of them is just share an essay about anything. So that's kind of the universal prompt. But Common App does give you these specific prompts. And again, the same essay will be sent to each school directly. So you are not going to send this prompt to Knox and this prompt to Butler. It'll be the same prompt for all of the schools. Okay. And I will say, if you are working on it on a Google Doc, which you probably are, the easiest way to upload it is to click your Google Drive right here and then find it within your Google Drive, and then it just copies right here. So that's an easy way for you to complete that. Okay. Please also make sure that you read up here. It will tell you what schools require it and what schools do not. So Northern Illinois, NIU, they do not require the essay, but the other 4 schools that I have on my list do. And so just be aware of that, okay? And then lastly, your courses and grades. This is where you might self-report your transcript. So you might self-report your grades that you've earned in the past. But as you can see, none of the colleges I selected allow me to do this. So it's not even going to let me do it. So again, check this tab to see if you have to do that or if you are not required to do that whatsoever. Okay? So complete this. You will notice that when you start completing it, green checks will appear. So your hope is to have green checks all down the side here. And then it'll show that your app is complete. Okay? Now, moving further left, that's not all you have to do, but that's a lot of what you have to do. But you also have to check to see what additional documents or information the other schools might want from you. So, if you go to My Colleges, your colleges will appear here on the left. If you click on Augustana, for example, again, this is going to look familiar. This is going to be kind of like that college search page. You're going to see that Augustana requires some additional information. So they need some additional questions from you. These are questions specific to Augustana. So it looks like they want some questions about academics and contact information and family, and also maybe some additional writing as well. Okay. So you need to complete that. And again, the same thing will happen when you complete all of these. A green check will appear here next to questions. Also, moving down, FERPA and recommenders. Here is where you will put in your recommendations. And so it will show you how to upload your recommenders. So on the FERPA and recommenders tab, this is where you need to first give your authorization for FERPA, which is basically like an Education Rights Act. Basically, they want to know, do you give people permission to submit letters of recommendation on your behalf without you seeing it first. Because sometimes students might require that they see the letter before submitting it, but most students do actually sign off on the FERPA authorization. So what you'll do is you'll read all about it here. You'll see what does it mean to waive my rights. Again, it basically just means that your teachers can send in letters without you looking at the draft first, technically. And then it'll talk about what happens if you do not waive your rights. But I will click that I have read above. I acknowledge, yes. I am choosing to, again, most do waive your rights for recommendations. And then I'll put today's date. And I'll click I understand. Always remember that I understand. Okay, so then it'll take you to the Recommenders tab. Two things. One, you need to invite your counselor. So you will put in your counselor's email, their title, or their title here, and then also their first and last name. When you do that, they will then get an email showing that describes to them that you are completing the Common Application. So that is very important for you to do because they have to complete what is called a school report. Okay? Now, recommendations. If you want to submit a recommendation, you can do so by clicking Invite Teacher. You put in the teacher email. Always use the school one unless for some reason your teacher says they prefer something else, but we should always default to the school. You can pick the subject, their title, their name, and then down here, this is optional. Sometimes schools ask for feedback from teachers and recommenders on their application, but you do not by any chances need to do this, and it does not help your case to get in if you do. And so you can do that as you see fit. Likely a no, unless your teacher would like to provide feedback. So, okay. But once you do that, your teachers will show up here. So please note that right here for Augustana, they don't even require letters of recommendation. And they do give you 3 optional spaces. So sometimes students will say, if I submit more letters of recommendation, does that help my case? Not necessarily. And please keep in mind, if you submit more than they will even accept, they are not going to read those extra letters. They will just read however many that are required to submit. So please track that. It's going to be different for each school. So for Butler, it's the same. For IIT, they do need 1. So you will definitely want to make sure to upload 1 here for Illinois Tech, but make sure that you do that appropriately. Okay. And then as you get down to review and submit, it's not showing here because not all portions of the application are complete. But after you complete the Common App portion right here, and after all of the college information is done, it'll take you to a screen on how to submit your final Common App. Please do make sure that all information is accurate. Parts of this application cannot be edited once you complete it. So when you submit it, you submit it. So there's no edit button. So make sure that everything is accurate when you submit it, okay? And also, if you do ever have any issues, always feel free to contact the Common App Help Desk, and always have your Common App ID ready to go. So that's this number up here. That'll be very important to you as you are navigating this application if you do come across any issues or barriers. Okay? But again, feel free to reach out to your counselor or myself in the College and Career Center, and best of luck on your college applications.